Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel once again. So in today's video I'm going to show you different perspective of cottons and how we can compose all these things together. Different perspective is important because we are creating all these things in a group, so definitely all the cotton balls should not be in the same perspective. I'm going to use pencil to draw a basic outline, and then I'm going to trace everything with the help of pen and going to do some extra shading and detailing with the help of pen. You can use normal ball pen also, or you can use needle pen. So let's start with composition first. I'm not using any reference photo, so start creating stems like this. You can keep all these things in any direction and angle as per your need, or you can refer to any reference photo to start with. So I'm creating this longer stem, and then it has multiple bifurcations as well. So I'm creating one oval kind of shape. This perspective is towards right side, and creating a round shape, and I'm going to make this one back perspective. So round shape is for back perspective and oval shape is for right perspective. You can do the same thing for left perspective as well. Now we can start with creating these sections of one single ball. So you can create multiple sections like this. As this one is the side perspective, so we are not able to see all the four sections that we usually see in the cotton. So I'm creating two bigger ball like this, and then one smaller section in the middle is visible. Now create the base of these balls, which is usually in brown color. I'm calling it as sepals. I'm not sure what we call it, but usually when it comes to the flower we call it sepals. So cover the base area with the help of sepals, and something like this you can create for the right perspective. And when you do things just opposite, you can create left perspective as well. Now let's concentrate on the back perspective, wherein I'm keeping the stems in the center, and I'm creating these sepals around left, right, and towards upward direction and downward direction, because we are seeing the brown structure from everywhere, and in the middle we have our cotton. So create cotton sections like this in between these sepals, and this should be mostly in round shape because we are seeing the back side of the cotton ball. So something like this you can do. Again, sepals are a little bigger, little smaller, covering the back side of the cotton. Now divide the main stem into multiple sub stems. Fine stems you can create. Again, composition is totally up to you how you like to compose it, but you can make sure you are keeping the perspective right or having different perspective in your drawing. Now let me create one more. This one is also like back perspective, but this is more towards the sky. So we are able to see the sepals, but this time I'm keeping the sepals smaller in size so that we can show this is more towards the sky side. Few sepals are visible, but not as back perspective. So something like this you can create for one more perspective. You can create extended stems from anywhere, wherever you like. And we have created these three cotton ball. Now I'm thinking to create few more towards left side, so I am extending one more stem here, and again I'm creating a round kind of shape. This is more towards round shape rather than oval. And then you can divide this into two sections like this. One is little smaller, one is bigger. In the smaller section we can create two sections of cotton like this, and the bigger oval shape we can create two more, so we can see two sections very clearly and two sections little less visible. And then in the corner of each section you can create sepals. Fine sepals are fine because this perspective is more towards you, so you're not able to see the back side of the cotton ball, so few smaller sepals is visible. Now create one more. This one is downside. So you can create sepals toward upward direction. You can keep multiple sections like this again, and in between each sections you can create sepals. Likewise, you can create different perspective of cotton ball. I think this much is enough for now. You can create extended stems like this from anywhere wherever you like to, and without any reference photo we have created this composition. You can create this particular composition easily without any reference photo. Now rub the unwanted pencil mark. I can still see my pencil mark clearly. Now I'm tracing everything with the help of pen. I'm using 01 mm needle pen to trace things. So first I'm concentrating on the sepal area and the stems. So trace every sepals that you have for each and every balls that I have created. As per perspective, you can see these sepals definition is changing, and because of these things we can see the perspective of these balls clearly. And having a group, I think different angle of all these cotton ball is important, and that is how perspective is very important when you are creating anything in a group. We are done with the sepals. You can create stems, main stems, extended stems, all those things, and then you can do some extra shading and detailing around these structure. Now we are done with the sepals and stems. Now let's concentrate on the cotton balls. So I'm creating an outline structure for the same like we did with the help of pencil, but this time I'm not creating a solid line. I'm mixing solid and dotted line together. So few area I'm covering with solid line and few area I'm covering with dotted line. I'm doing this because cotton ball is very soft structure, so I'm trying to replicate the same thing in my drawing as well. You can create solid line throughout, that is also not an issue, but combining solid and dotted line together is nicer as compared to creating all thing with solid structure. Now do some extra shading and detailing around the stem area. I'm hatching the stem area. Hatching means creating multiple parallel line close to each other, and then you can do some cross hatching as well. Cross hatching means in between your parallel lines you are creating multiple line cross to each other, and same thing you can do for sepal area as well. So cross hatching or cross contouring you can do to get some extra dark shades around your sepal area. I'm keeping the cotton balls little lighter and I'm keeping the sepal area darker for the drawing perspective. So you can do some hatching, cross hatching around these area to get some darker shade. Hatching and contouring is almost similar to each other. The only difference between hatching and contouring is in the hatching we can create straight line, and in the contouring we go with the object shape. So that's the difference between hatching and contouring, and then you can do some cross hatching or cross contouring in your structure. So same thing I'm repeating throughout all my sepals for every cotton ball that we have. So let me quickly repeat the same thing for all the structure wherein we need some cross hatching and contouring. Now I am doing some fine touch in between my stems, and I'm also thinking to create one more stem beside it. So these things you can do. Now the final thing we need to do is doing some extra shading and detailing around my cotton area. So we have two options to do it. First, you can do some curved line and dotted line in each sections of cotton ball that we have, and don't overdo it because we want to show this particular structure a little fluffier. So you can create few solid curve and a few dotted curve like these, or else you can do everything with the help of stippling process. So stippling process means creating multiple dots around your structure. So the more density of your dot is, the greater shade you will get. So for now you can create all these dots at distance like this. So I'm doing these two cotton ball with the help of a stippling process, and then around the edges and in between two sections you can make little darker shade with the help of stippling process itself. So I am increasing the density of dots around these area. So the greater the density, the darker shade you will get. And now as you can see, we can see the cotton ball very clearly, and I think this one is better than the first approach to do some shading around the cotton area, but it's totally depend on you which method you like to choose. Stippling is little time consuming process, but I think results are better as compared to the first approach. Now repeat the same thing for this one as well until you get satisfaction around your structure, or else you can do a simple method, less time consuming, wherein we are going to create some solid lines and dotted lines, or I should say curves, around your cotton balls. And I think this is the final stage of drawing process. So do it slowly, gradually, take all your time to do all these things, because these shading and detailing is important to beautify your structure. Now I'm almost done with all the cotton balls that I have. You can do some cross hatching in between to get some extra shade and to save your time as well. Now the final thing you can do around your drawing structure is, with the help of watercolor, you can paint the sepal area, stems and cotton area a little bit. Few I am going to cover with the help of watercolor. This process is called line and wash watercolor painting technique, wherein we draw everything with the help of pen and then we put some color into it, and this one is the easiest way to paint. Now for the cotton area, which is in white color, I am keeping this area little grayish in shade because our sheet is white, so we cannot use white color, or you can use little bit of blue color in it. Do not overpower these colors, and because I want to keep things in a white only, and something like this you can do. So we are done with today's video. Hope you have liked it, and thank you so much for watching. See you guys in the next video.